Hello and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video I'll be starting a new series where I will go through all the aspects of the game such as braking, accelerating, cornering, setups, and explain everything in detail and try and help people out. So in episode 1 I was going to start with braking because braking seems to be the aspect of the game most people seem to struggle with. It's quite different to MotoGP 20 and I was going to start with it until I noticed an online glitch where your racing line gets reset after every race, so you have to turn it off. And of course, it's something you forget every once in a while. You go online, your first race of the day, it's not something you're thinking of. You go into the race and it's on, and you go, alright, I'll do the 3 laps, I'll do it, blah, blah, blah. But I've noticed it's, especially because I haven't used the racing line since MotoGP 15, I think, so that was 6 years, so 6 MotoGP games back I've stopped using it, and throughout the last basically 6 games since MotoGP 15 I've been well within the top 25, I would say, on Xbox for most leaderboards, league racing and stuff, so I've been at pretty high level, so I think I'm decent enough to be able to help you with turning off the racing line in this video and throughout the series helping you with tips and tricks and all about that. But today we're going to focus just solely on the racing line and going back to it when I was using it online in this game. So again, I haven't used it in years, so I didn't know it was as bad. Basically, it is really inaccurate. I think it's made for the AI, and it shows in game when you're running it. It shows where the AI would brake, and how the AI brake is completely different to the actual real human. We do not brake the same in any shape or form. They brake the same place every lap. They brake the same power. They change down gear exactly the same time. They always have pretty much the same speed. The variables for an AI changes a lot less than it would a real person. Whereas if you're on an online race and you're racing, you might be getting a slipstream from the bike in front, you might be trying to make an overtake, you're trying to defend someone, you might have spun it up coming out of the last corner and you're coming to the braking zone 3 miles an hour slower, you might have got a great exit and come in 3 miles an hour faster, so your braking markers are always different. And I've noticed when you have it on, you kind of tend to use it because it's there, it's in your eye line and you kind of just focus on it, and it is what it is really. And I noticed from playing online it's just very inaccurate because from the previous points I've made. So I'm going to jump on track with it off as Jack Miller at Jerez, and I'm going to go around the track and basically show what braking markers are, how to find braking markers, and just give you basically overall tips for having the racing line off. So the racing line is on for multiple reasons. Number 1 is to show you where to brake. Now there is 2 different types, or there's 3 settings for it. It's off, corners only, and on fully. So if it's on fully, you'll see it the whole way across the track, so it'll be all the way down the straight. It'll show your braking marker, everything. It'll change color when you need to brake, when you need to accelerate, everything. If you just have it on corners, it'll start as you get to the point where you need to start braking. So it'll start on a 150 meter board, whatever, it'll show you for every corner where you need to go. If it's off, it's like this, you just have your track, it looks much cleaner, much nicer look, and it's more realistic. So I'm going to just keep going the track here until I get to, I think Pedrosa corner is a good one to describe what I'm looking for. So again, going back to showing you where the race line goes. The race line basically is, you want to be coming into every corner out wide, bring it in, hitting your apex about, we'll say here for this one, this corner is a bad example because it's a late apex, but you basically go wide, come in tight. It's just the laws of motorcycle racing, of any racing, any motor racing. It's just that's the racing line to get the most accurate line, best speed through the corner, best entry, best exit, best overall lap time. Now you can see I've stopped here at a big board that says the word or the letters 200 for 200. There's one there just above Jack Miller for 300, and there's one in the distance under the DHL board 100. They're meter boards. These are the 200, 300 and 100 meter boards. These are in big heavy braking zones. So you'll have, on this track you'll have it here and turn 1. On tracks like Qatar you'll have it into turn 1 and into the heavier braking zones. As you'll see, it will be for picking out braking markers. Now again, like I said, it's in heavy braking zones, so that's great having a 200 and 300 and 100 meter board, because you can basically, heavy braking zone are the easy ones to brake for. It's corners like this, as you can see, because it's such a short distance from out of Danny Pedrosa corner and into this left-hander there, that there isn't any braking board. It doesn't say 50 meters, it doesn't say 100 meters, you have to come up a drone. And that's where a lot of people struggle. A lot of people struggle when they turn it off initially, that they go into turn 1 at Mugello, okay, we'll brake it to 200, and then you get to turn 2 and you're like, I don't know where to brake, and you brake too early, and then you get to the next corner, you brake too late, and you're like, well, this is just pointless, I can't do this because I have no idea where I'm braking. And they start over again into, I can get turn 1 done for some reason, but I can't get turn 2 and turn 3 and turn 4. So I'm going to just go around this corner here now, and up next is a right-hander, and I'm just going to roll off. I'm going to just roll. You see that board now, just there, it says Tissot. That is a braking marker. Now, to you, that's just advertisement. To everyone, it's just advertisement. To an online racer with the race line off, that's a braking marker. That's something that will be, like, I can turn around, I might be able to hit it, but I know for a fact I won't be able to destroy that. It'll just go through the bike, as I'm doing a great job of getting my knee down to turn down. But anyway, besides that point, this cannot be moved. I just went straight through it. It sits there perfectly. Every lap of every single race on this game I'll do of this track, that board will be sitting there in the same spot every time. It doesn't move, so it's a brilliant braking marker. Every time I come to the corner, I know. So basically I use that as my braking marker. Now, it mightn't be exactly right. So then you have situations like the next corner here. You'll see the 150 meter board. This will be where I'll just start braking. Maybe just after it, we'll say, for this one, because I know I just brake after that one. It's the same for the Tissot board. Maybe you brake 20 feet, a few inches in front of it. For this braking marker here, I brake before this shadow here, so I don't brake at the shadow. So when you have these markers, you can make markers just after them and just before them. You have to kind of get creative with it and make up your own ones, because everyone rides differently. Everyone brakes differently. Everyone comes to a corner slightly different. It's just your riding style is your own. You can't replicate someone else's. I can't go around this track and say, right, this is set in stone. This here is where you need to brake. If you brake before it, you're braking too early. You brake after, you're braking too late. It's not as simple as that. Everyone rides different. Everyone rides different bikes. Everyone rides with different sorts of setups. Too many variables to say it's black and white. It's not. Every single track in the world has braking markers for different places and different people. It's just, you can't get past it. So coming into this corner, I would be braking just after the line at the 150 meter board. So again, just going to turn around. Hopefully I don't get reset. I might just stop because you can see it. You see the 100 meter board there. If you look just above the red marker there, you'll see a white line on track. That's another marker. So they don't want it on the pit exit, a big board saying 100 meter boards. So they do a marking across that. You'd see that coming into turn 1. I do a hot lap series as well. I've done episode 1 already. It's Catalunya. If you watch that, you listen to me, I'll say, I think in 3 or 4 braking zones, look for the white line on the outside. And that's what I mean. That's 100 meters out from the corner there. Now, again, in some aspects, I'll be saying just before the 100 meter board you're braking, just afterwards. And now I'm going back, I'm going to completely go back on what I said, and in these videos I'll be saying this is where you brake, this is where you brake, this is where you brake. These are all for me. This is just a kind of in the hot lap videos, they're guide videos to show you how to go fast. They're not, again, letters of the law. So a lot of you will find, if you go into Catalunya as Rossi and you try and do exactly as I did, you'll go, well, I can brake later than I'm here, but I can't brake as late as I'm here. Why is that? That's down to your setup, your riding style, everything. So just to finalise basically on turning off the racing line, because I don't want to blabber on for too much longer. Turn off the race line, find a track you like would be what I do if you want to do it straight away, and just play around with the track and just look for things on the outside. So even a tree up there, now again, you don't want to be looking too far off the racetrack. You want to be able to see it as you come. So I'm going to just kind of do a bit of a simulation here as if I was coming into this braking zone. I'm going to brake just after 200 meters there. Now on a GP bike at that speed, I should just get it stopped. I ran wide. So I need to know next time I need to brake a bit before, so maybe 225 meters thereabouts. I need to gauge myself. So every lap I come to, I know I need to brake before the 200 meters for my style and my braking. For you, you'll have to figure it all out yourself. It's not going to be something you can do. You can't just turn off the racing line at 6:30 and by 7 o'clock be breaking world records. It won't happen. You have to do basically what I'm doing. Go around the track and just keep riding and keep figuring out where your braking markers are. So you'll find braking markers, and you find markers like in that corner for tipping in, for just where you can throw the bike in. You know, as soon as you get to that billboard, throw the bike in and you hit the apex every lap. And that's basically how you get much quicker to aim, because the racing line is so poor, and I can't stress enough how bad it is for people, again, who want to improve and who want to do online racing and league racing and time trialing and stuff. Having your racing line on is just quite poor. So I'm going to wrap this video up by saying, just kind of recapping again, look out for these fellas. These are lifesavers. Try and do a hot lap of your own for yourself on the track. So go around the track yourself, pick braking markers you think you can get a stop down. Just pick your favorite track and just keep doing laps, and eventually you'll get into a rhythm and you'll realize you're picking braking markers automatically. It comes to it. It's not like relearning every track. You'll start to realize that you'll know yourself from playing with the line on where vaguely you'll brake, and you'll understand. So I just want to thank you all for watching. I should have episode 2 of the series up by the end of next week. I'll be starting that one off with braking, so I'll be doing tips on front suspension setups, braking, so your brakes, discs, your rear brake discs, engine braking, and I'll go through all that and explain how you can improve, how to figure out what way you brake, and just a few other tips and tricks. So once again, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, please ask anything at all. If it's not working of making a full video, I'll answer it in the comments. If not, I'll feature it in a future video. But once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.